What's going on, guys? My name is Johnathan McDonald, and last night I won the Team Golden Age hosted Mega 10 case tournament over in Odessa, Texas. I played Dogmatika Invoked, and after Swiss I was X2, but ended up cutting through the top cut and winning the whole thing. First off, shout-outs to Team BB Fun for accepting this deck profile and putting it on their channel. Special thanks to Team Golden Age for hosting the tournament and Croc Cards for hosting the tournament as well. Let's get right into it. First off, 3 Ecclesia. She is your main engine. She's your starter. She's your searcher for everything. The best girl. Maximus, the utility card, giving you access to follow-up plays and phase effects as well as pops if you need them. It's Maximus, man. It's the main point of the deck besides searching with Ecclesia. And then Fleur-de-Lis, I play 2 because this thing's a hand trap, and if you normal summon your Ecclesia or special summoner and they try to negate it with a monster, you can just chain your Fleur and negate that monster if you hard draw the Fleur, which is really nice. That's it for the Dogmatika monsters. And of course we're playing triple Alistair and another Alistair and then 3 more Alistairs, so 7 Alistair, you know, because we're allowed to do that. And then 3 Invocation. 3 Invocation. It's just a good card to draw. Yeah, I mean, it's a good card to draw. Playing Desires, you don't want to banish all of them. I have horrible luck, so that's my main decision behind it. Plus, the card's really good, man. Like, what else can I say? It's Invocation. Then 3 Nadir Servant. Absolute best card in the Dogmatika archetype, in my opinion. It loads your grave so you can search a Maximus and combo from there. If you're under a floodgate and you haven't committed to the board yet, this to send Untis to pop the floodgate is really great, and it just makes your matchup that much even easier. And then I played 2 Desires instead of 3 because I wanted to play 2 Cosmic because I didn't know what to expect at that event, and 2 Droplets. So you can swap the 2 Cosmic for a 3rd Desires and a 3rd Droplet, but I wanted to play back row removal because this was like the first in-person Yu-Gi-Oh event, and I did not want to get caught getting blasted by Mystic Mine, and like 5 people were playing Mystic Mine last night. 2 Mystic Strikers and like 2 other guys were playing Mystic Mine Burn. So it was ridiculous. The card was everywhere last night, and I'm really glad I prepared for it. Other than that, yeah, just a 3rd Droplet or a 3rd Desires if you want, if you don't want to worry about back row or whatever. I find that this deck loses pretty hard to back row, so I'd rather play it safe. Fleur-de-Lis is also like another Droplets that's searchable, so it's not that bad. Hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and 3 Impermanents. Standard lineup. It's a hand trap format, guys. You know, you have to play it. And then I opted for a 4th hand trap in Gamma in the main. This is more along a Sky Striker theory. If you have so many spell cards that are your starters, like Desires. I mean, Desires isn't a starter. I don't want to get into that argument, but like you have Desires. If you start out with Desires, you can negate the Ash to guarantee it to resolve. Same with Meltdown, Terraforming, and Nadir Servant. And then if you do any of those but Nadir Servant, after this resolves, you can make an Omega. And if you're going first and you make an Omega, not only have you taken away an Ash from their hand, but once they get to their main phase and do something, you Omega them and they take 2 cards. So they're playing with 4 cards versus your stun deck, and they're not going to have a good time. And then the last 2 cards, this is debatable for people depending on preference, but for me, I play 2 Punishment. I love this card. I think this card's really great. It's a big comeback card, okay? A lot of people think of the 2-for-1 with Untis, but honestly, the best thing is sending Titaniclad Ash Dragon to the grave and then getting back in the game in the end phase. It came up all night in Odessa that I needed to resolve this to get back into the game, to gain advantage. It was just that important and that huge. So I recommend 2 Punishment. That's it for the main 40 cards. Nice and even. Then we're going to get into the extra. It's pretty standard, I'm not going to lie. 1 Almirage, 1 Gardena. This is the only deviation. I play Omega because I play Gamma, but also because this is a huge resource game and it comes up a lot. 1 Wind Pegasus This card's great. Unicorn without having to summon Unicorn. Awesome. And then 2 Intis, 2 Ash Dragon, of course. I play the Shadal package. You'll notice I wasn't maining it. I'll get into that more later. And then 2 Makaba, a Purgatrio, and an Agoitis. And then for the side deck, we have ourselves some interesting choices. So I was actually expecting some oil field money in Odessa, so I was expecting Eldritch and Dogmatika. So I sided Lancia. And funny enough, there was Orchist. So I ended up using this for Orchist and nothing else, which was funny. Otherwise it didn't come up. There were no Eldritch, and there's only one other Dogmatika player, but I didn't play him. 3 Nibiru, because Rock was still a thing, and Infernoble. And I ended up playing 1 Rock player, once in Swiss, once in Top Cut. He beat me in Swiss, but I got him in Top Cut. 1 Pank because it's Pankratops. And then I play the 3rd Cyclone instead of a Reboot, just because I would prefer this over a red Reboot against Eldritch or Geist. In my playstyle and the way I play, I prefer to have the 3rd Cyclone for removal instead of the Reboot. You can obviously make this a Reboot, no worries. It's gonna perform very well for you too. And then I like siding going first cards, so that's why Schism isn't in my main, is because I want it in the side. I want my decks to be able to go first or second, hence the Gamma. So Gamma is essentially Called by the Grave in the main, but in the side I actually have Called by the Grave and then Schism. With Called by going to 1 now, there's going to be some changes. Gamma's staying in, without a doubt, but the side is going to change up for sure. And then, last but not least, 3 Evenly, because you play this card because it's broken. It's a good card. Actually, it's a great card. It's insane. And that's it. That's going to do it for my deck profile, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to subscribe to Team BB Fun and like the video. Also, check out Team Golden Age, and I believe my original deck profile should be on Bortles' channel. Don't roast me too much. I was really tired after the tournament, so I didn't discuss as much in-depth choices. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you later.